Hi everyone. I wanted to do a video on something that I was thinking about today, and this goes on the On God playlist that I have, where I'll be talking about my walk with God, my relationship, things I'm studying in the Bible, and just observations about my life or life in general. And I've always been interested in true change and always like looking up videos, and I'm always reading books on like changing habits. And one of the things that I've learned is that all things start with um, a belief. And it makes me think about a book I read by John Mark Comer called Live No Lies. And one of the main points he makes in that book is that the problem isn't that we believe lies, but we live them. So, like, whatever behavior, habit that you have is a result of a belief that you have. So, it kind of starts with that. And to use an example for me would be procrastination. So it's been a problem for me. Even like this is like a living example because I've been saying I want to do videos about the things that I think are important and that I want to discuss, and I haven't, and I procrastinate for a multitude of reasons. But I'll use time for example. So being on time and being realistic about it. So one thing I've always like looked up videos and tips like why do I procrastinate? Where does this come from? And one of the things that comes up is it's a fear. So being in school sometimes um, I would procrastinate on things and wait last minute. And there used to be a feeling of like, okay, I got it done and that's what matters, and like move on. But now it matters to me the way that I do things, because when I do procrastinate, it just builds up stress and anxiety. And so even though I may like still make it or turn something in, whatever it is, I don't feel good about it. There's not that feeling of like, oh, well, I got it done, like doesn't come anymore. Now it's like, no, I want to do things in a way that I don't add unnecessary anxiety or stress when it comes to that, like procrastination or with my time. So I would say that, like, to use that example of like lying to yourself, I would tell myself, okay, I can get ready in like 20 minutes. It'll just take me 20 minutes. Or like this part, when I leave, it's going to take like 5 minutes to get out the door. Never happens. And for a long time, I would try to like, well, first, let me back up. So I would keep telling myself that, which was not true, that it would take me only a short amount of time or this amount of time. And then I started to observe myself, and it was like, okay, actually, it takes me about an hour and a half to get ready, get dressed, do what I need to do, and get to where I need to go. And I didn't like that, even though it was true. And so I was still trying to like cheat the system, and say like, no, like I'm just gonna change it. Like I'm gonna change the habit. I'm gonna make sure I get ready more quickly. And that to this day has never happened. So I use that as an example because once I, number one, realized that I had a problem, which is procrastination, and then two, start to observe myself. So it's like, okay, how long does it actually take me to get ready? And it's like, okay, actually, if I want to get to this place on time, it takes me about an hour and a half. Or, looking at my schedule and what I have to do, realistically, it's going to take me an hour to actually do this and then get out the door. And then once I accepted that, it was like, okay, I have two choices. I can continue to try to cheat the system, which doesn't even happen, or I can actually accept the truth that this is how long it takes me to use that time as an example to be on time. I need to get up and get ready at this time because it's not going to change, and it hasn't changed. So once I accepted that, and it's still a process because I still have my moments, but like the more but when I do, I can get up, I can get moving at my normal pace. I'm not frantic. And it just feels better. Then it's like, oh, I'm actually here early, or I'm here right on time. And so there's not that unnecessary anxiety that comes with rushing around and procrastinating. Um, And so I use that as an example because true transformation starts with truth. So I think that that's like the core lesson that I've learned is if I really want to change a habit or if I really want to change in a certain way, I have to first like acknowledge whatever the problem is and see it as a problem. And then I need to observe myself or a habit and then kind of have acceptance like this is what it is. And then from there, I can make necessary changes or make different decisions to reach whatever goal it is or whatever it is I'm trying to do. So the verse that comes to mind talking about this topic is John 8:31, and it says, "Then Jesus said to those Jews who believed him, 'If you abide in my word, you are my disciples indeed, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.'" And that's the verse that came. I think I said that already. That's the verse that came to my mind, and that's just directly tied to the way I feel like God will bring certain things to the light that maybe you aren't aware of. So like with me just using that as a small example, procrastination for a while, and I didn't even really see it as a problem. But then over time, I started to see as I was trying to I guess change the way that I did things or having that desire to, but feeling like I wasn't able to. I feel like God will bring stuff to the light and bring stuff to your mind. And then once you see like the truth of something, then you can change it. So there's like the truth of what you need to change and the acceptance of yourself, or what it is you're currently practicing or doing. And then when those two things come together, by the grace of God, you're able to make the changes and changes that last. And so that's what I wanted to talk about because it just came to me, and I was thinking about how I need to be consistent, not procrastinate with this channel and the things that I want to talk about. And that just came to me, so I wanted to share it.